Steve Stout, and we can go from there. He's here for certain conversations, not for the we're not gonna do that. We're not. He ain't here for that.
That's all I love, though. It's cool. Working with Will was cool. Just to answer Shorty's question.
Joyner, this is Erica speaking. So, I just want to know real quick. Hold on, Miss Erica. Hold on. Oh, somebody hopped. I apologize. Go ahead. Oh, no, Erica, I got you. It was just...
please direct all questions to conductor's Twitter, please, just so we can keep the order, because all this talking over everybody just starting to get too much. Please, respectfully.
Okay, these were questions that were sent to the back channel, to my back channel, specifically. So a young man wants to know, going back to Karen Civil, because of course we need to move forward to the Steve Stout because this is new. But the young man wants to know what services exactly did he request from Karen, because he's never said a list of things he actually wanted, because he already said he paid for radio promo, etc. It sounds like he just gave her $60,000 and was like, "Make my career pop."
Nah, man, fuck that dude, man. That nigga, we didn't talk about that shit for 30 hours. We over the fuck dude.
Okay, you have another question, Ashley? Do you have another question?
I'll be real, man. Like, I want to know if Wack got some questions, because he's the one that was really bringing up some points, and it was like, all right. And so I know Joyner addressed a lot of the shit, but
Joyner came in and addressed every motherfucking thing I said.
I wrote down that.
I sent the motherfucking money up front.
I wrote down everything.
Money up front. He every motherfucking thing I've been saying that y'all telling me.
My biggest question is understanding the Steve Stout situation.
All right, so let me break that down for you. Let me break that shit down. All right. So let's go to 2007. So 2017, I mean. So in 2017, I created an app called Tully. All right, now this app started as a songwriter app. So an artist, can go in there, upload their beats, write their lyrics, record their ideas and shit. Make it like real easy for the artist. So I made it so that you can do that on like one single screen. So the app was essentially a pre-production tool that I created so I can keep things organized. So when I went to the studio and recorded shit, I can have like a solid reference to go off of. So everybody's in distribution. So I didn't want to go and be in the distribution business because, TuneCore, they already been in that business for like 15 years. And I would have essentially been competing with TuneCore as well as several other companies. I've always been into tech, by the way. Like, the artist shit's cool, the directing shit is cool, but I've always been like huge into tech. I just wanted to put that out there. But so I felt like I had something unique, something different, right? And I felt that it would help a lot of artists that may have been disorganized. Like, how many artists that don't have the final masters to their song because they stopped working with the engineer who had it? So Tully would essentially put that power in the artist's hands. So let's fast forward to the end of 2018, right after I got off Atlantic Records. Mind you, I just learned a whole bunch of business shit just by being signed to Atlantic, going through all the fuck shit involving Karen, shit that I encountered being at, major labels and shit. I had a co-manager who was an industry manager, right? That couldn't do shit. And this nigga actually had relationships with the label. So the manager I got on the phone right now was my manager, but I also had another manager, and I can't say his name due to legal reasons, but he was another manager that I had, an industry manager, and he didn't even really have no pull like that. And that motherfucker had relationships with the label. So as I'm watching this shit and I'm learning, I wanted to figure out how to apply this information to Tully. So where I struggled was I wanted to provide something that I could help artists with so that they could have it easier than I did. So in 2018, Sony Music puts a huge fucking investment into the company, right? Only as a shareholder, which means that they don't have control of the company in any formation, right? So I don't have a board that I answer to or none of that. We make decisions to help artists move forward. I do that shit. They don't make that decision. I make the decision. So essentially, there was a bidding war. Now, just to be clear, this was not for my music. It wasn't a bidding war for my music. This was for tech. It's for technology. For me to build technology. For me to build what's missing so that we can all benefit from the shit. So I started my journey for the first year, refining this product for the app, and now building an additional piece for management. So the management piece was built so I can manage my masters and have complete control over my music. When I upload a master inside of Tully, it automatically has a mega data manager. It has a place where you can upload your contracts and instantly receive your split sheets, right? So all of this shit is automated. So let me give you an example.
Wow, automated split sheets.
Right, yeah, automated split sheets, right? Yes. So let me give you an example. So everyone knows in the music business, right? The legal and the lawyers, they take a huge fucking advantage of the artists. So what I did with Tully was I allowed the artists to be able to invite their lawyers into the Tully account and assign the lawyer specific access and roles. So an example, like the lawyer cannot listen to my music. He has no access to my music, but he can still access and upload contracts. Right, the engineer can access, the music, but he can't access the contracts. Right, so I'm giving and assigning specific roles to specific people on here. Right, and I can assign up to like 13 to 15 people. Right, so let's say he uploads the contracts. Now he's required to also complete a high-level terms, right, to the deal that we signed. So I asked him if there's an advance associated with this agreement, what the royalty split is, what the publishing split is. So it instantly creates like a royalty and pub chart for me. So this instantly puts the power in my hands now. Because if I ever feel like I want to work with a different attorney because I'm being fucked, pause, I can literally just delete that nigga from my account and just assign a new attorney, and I don't lose any of my information. So as of early this year, you can do all of that shit on your mobile phone, thanks to me. Now, so my team, we take a meeting with United Masters. Why? Because I look up to Steve Stout. He's a black CEO in the music business. He's advocating for artists and, there's masters and, he's advocating for artists' masters and the artists' rights. And, I'm like, this shit is perfect. This is the perfect company to align myself with. So all day, every day, I see this nigga online talking about how fucked up the record labels are and how we need to come together and share information and change what the industry's been doing wrong for so long and blah, 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 blah. So this is what I do. I have my team reach out to United Masters, which is owned by Steve Stout. So my team set up meetings. We did demos of our product, and we told them we want to use United Masters, and we would like to form a partnership to be able to distribute music since I'm not in the distribution business. So they showed a lot of interest in shit. They seemed to not have nothing that we had.
So mind you, we have like 100,000 songwriters on this application, right? That's right. Creating stuff, now can manage stuff, right? So we're like, now they want to put their music out. So let's go speak to the guy that we think is best suited for that, and that was United Masters, Steve Stout.
They didn't have what's the app called? Tully, Tully, right? Okay. So they seem to have no idea of what the fuck we had, right? But they understood the mission and the alignment between United Masters and Tully. They got it. So if that alignment would have happened, and that would have meant that full control would have been given to the artists to manage the creative assets, manage their business, manage their teams, and distribute their music out. One-stop shop. Meaning that we would not need a record label to do any of that shit.
So we demoed the product. We signed NDAs, we demoed the product.
Yep. We demoed the product. After I did the demo with United Masters, right, I ended up getting plugged with Steve directly. So before I got to speak with Steve, they seen everything from our side, right? I haven't seen one thing from their side. We signed NDAs so we could share information, and these niggas made me share all my shit, and they didn't share shit. They listened to me talk. They didn't share nothing. So I hop on a call with Steve, right? And it's me, Steve, it's Drew, who's on the phone with us right now. So we talked to Steve and we explained the model we got and how we would like to bring the shit together, considering that the company his company don't have the shit that we built. So Steve said, okay, shoot me an email and we'll set up a meeting. No response. Right? Fast forward a few months later, I got a copyright infringement saying that I cannot use the word record label in your pocket. Now, here's what pisses me off. I have 2 United States utility patents, right? Rap Chat, which is an app, infringe on one of those patents. So that the Rap Chat app, if you don't know, is like a social songwriting app. So what they're infringing on is the ability to play, write, and record in a single screen. I have a patent for that, so nobody should be able to do that shit except for me. But I'm not out here sending cease and desist and doing all that fuck shit, right? So I'm not sending lawyers to these niggas, right? I'm trying to figure out how to make shit better for us artists so that they don't make the same mistakes that I made if they haven't did the shit already. So I got patents and these niggas, these motherfuckers trademarked a few words. You mean to tell me I'm going to the successful black CEO who's representing artists to make that happen, and instead of calling me, because I use the term Tully, I use it and say that Tully is a record label in your pocket. Instead of calling me, this motherfucker sent me a cease and desist letter. I'm tired of this industry shit, bro. We supposed to be coming together. You the same nigga that's sitting online talking about let's share information and come together and record labels and blah, 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 blah. So I've seen this fuck shit from when I'm coming up as an artist. I'm learning from it. I'm seeing it, which is cool when it's coming from the fucking major labels, I guess. But when it comes from our own people that's supposed to be looking out and looking out for our culture and pushing this shit forward, that's what pisses me off, and that's what made me go on my rant today. You heard?
Hey, thank you, Jonah. I know we have Mr. Davis up here that wanted to holler at you and get it. Mr. Davis, you there? Duran?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead.
How's it going, Brother Joyner? So I have a question, but it's probably going to take me a minute to ask it because I don't want you to say anything in case you may have any litigation and people are recording the room. But so with the technology, so you guys built technology in your company is what I'm getting. And the IP that you guys had, it was something that they didn't have, and they didn't understand the secret sauce. But you didn't want to get into the distribution business, so it was an ideal partnership. You don't have to speak about the terms at all. So how did you get served with the copyright infringement? Was it served on you're not going to be able to do the distribution with someone else, or was it served on something that they were trying to steal from you as part of the IP?
So what United Masters did is they trademarked the words record label in your pocket. They also trademarked the words amplify your independence. They also trademarked the words your future has no labels. So this is a company that's raised over $100 million. And what they basically did was they trademarked all the words that you would essentially try to use to identify what we've built, right? And then coming to us, telling us we can't use that.
So DJ is still Duran, by the way, and thanks for answering that. So does that affect you guys? Because that sounds like a marketing play. Is this some legal term where they're saying any service derivative of that description you guys can't do? I'm just trying to understand.
You basically trademark the description. So it's okay, don't use that description with your product because we trademarked it, and we're sitting here with patents. Utility patents. Like, there's very few people in the music business that can tell me that they've got United States issued utility. We got 2 patents at that, right? And so it's kind of frustrating because it's like we expect that bullshit from the big major labels for them to come down like that, right? We didn't expect it from this side.
So DJ, that was a Silicon Valley play because you know that Steve Stout is connected to a lot of people over in Sand Hill Road. But here's the thing: I'm done with my questions because I don't want you guys to say anything that may infringe on something you guys may have in the future. But if I have another question, I'll try to think about it and ask it in a way where it won't affect you guys. But I appreciate that. I'm going on mute.
All right, y'all. This is Ashley. Let me reset the room. Y'all welcome to the Crenshaw District. If you're not following the club, make sure you're tapping the greenhouse at the top. Show us some